Oh, that goes way back there, a polka. And we were talking about the early days, cyber shortwave and everything. We always made sure we played a polka. Actually, it was whoever said the P word in the channel, we would have to play a polka. And we didn't play a polka until somebody said the P word. And it was a running gag for many, many years. And we still like going back from time to time, occasionally revisiting that type of thing. So we certainly got a lot of mileage out of that one, gang. But now we're pioneers of country, and we do concentrate on country music. 99.99% of what you hear on this broadcast is going to be country music related. Pioneers of country. Why? Because they were forgotten by the country music industry, country radio, and even the Grand Ole Opry. Pioneers of country proudly remember those artists and the music they made popular.
Carroll County's pointed out as kinda square. The biggest thing that happens is the county fair. I guess that's why it seemed like such a big event, what we all call the Carroll County accident. The wreck was on the highway just inside the line. Walter Browning lost his life, and for a time it seemed that Mary Ellen Jones would surely die, but she lived long enough for her to testify. Now Walter Browning was a happy married man. He wore a golden wedding ring upon his hand. But it was gone, nobody knew just where it went. He'd lost it in the Carroll County accident. Mary Ellen testified he flagged her down, said he was sick and could she drive him into town. And no one even doubted what she said was true, 'cause she was well respected in the county too. I went down to see the wreck like all the rest, the bloody seats, the broken glass, the tangled mess. But I found something no one else had even seen behind the dash in Mary's crumpled up machine. A little matchbox circled by a rubber band, and inside the ring from Walter Browning's hand. It took a while to figure out just what it meant, the truth about the Carroll County accident. By dark of night I dropped the ring into a well, and took a sacred oath that I would never tell the truth about the Carroll County accident, 'cause the county ordered Dad a marble monument. I lost him in the Carroll County accident.
Operator, please connect me with 1982. I need to make apologies for what I didn't do. I sure do need to tell her that I thought the whole thing through, and now it's clear that she is what I should have held on to. They say hindsight's 20/20, but I'm nearly going blind from staring at her photograph and wishing she was mine. It's that same old lost love story. It's sad, but it's true. There was a time when she was mine in 1982. Postman, can you sell me a special kind of stamp? One to send a letter from this crazy lonely man back into the wasted years of my living past. I need to tell her now I know how long my love will last. They say hindsight's 20/20, but I'm nearly going blind from staring at her photograph and wishing she was mine. It's that same old lost love story. It's sad, but it's true. There was a time when she was mine in 1982. Losing my mind, going back in time to 1982.
It catches says, how long has iWeb Radio been around? Might as well be 1982. Well, not quite 1982, but it's a long story, Catchin. Hang around here. Eventually, you'll be able to put all the pieces together. But around 1987, a bunch of hams got together. Not me. I was not even licensed at the time. I was a shortwave listener. They got together on 40 meters, 7240 kilohertz, and they started a shortwave listeners net. And they would talk about what they were hearing on the shortwave bands outside of the ham bands. It was a net. BBC and Deutsche Welle and all that, and they would list the frequencies and everything. Well, that caught on. I started listening as a shortwave listener back in the fall of 87. And when I heard these guys, I says, well, I got to get my license and join them. So in 1988, January, I started the study for my ham radio license, which I obtained in, I believe, April or May of 1988. I upgraded to general at the time, which allowed me to operate on the HF bands. And so I joined the Anarch SWL net back in, I think it was June of 1988. And we ran that for many years. Then Pete Costello, I took a break. Pete Costello came along, started the, this is when the internet kicked into high gear back in the mid-90s. And we would take telephone calls before that because there was no internet. But there was a lot of shortwave listeners who didn't have a license to participate. So Pete Costello started the IRC channel, Internet Relay Chat Channel, SWL. So shortwave listeners can contribute loggings, and we did that. And so that ran its course till about 1999, and then there was some interference from certain people, and so and then the hams went away because of the internet, and well, we decided to dissolve the 40-meter Anarch SWL net in early 1999. Around June of 1999, Pete Costello notified me of this new thing on the internet, which nobody knew what the internet was back then. There was no broadband. Live 365 was just starting, so I signed up for that, and we did some tests, and we began broadcasting in August, the end of August of 1999, and we've been pretty much doing it right here on Live 365 since then. We started out as Cyber Shortwave, and then we did Golden Age OTR, and now Pioneers of Country, but we always kind of, there's a little margin there where we kind of go back and forth. Along around, and we had quite a bit of listeners, and then along around 2004, 2005, some other folks started to get interested in broadcasting. And so they wanted to do broadcast too. So they got a couple of their accounts on Live 365. Also, Big Steve Cole and Steve Evanchuk and several others, Jen. And then so somebody said, well, why don't we all just go together and start a server? And so that happened right around 2005. And, well, I kept this server. I kept the Live 365 server. That kind of ran its course, and boy, we had a lot of broadcasters on the iWeb radio network, and we still do. They've come, they've gone, but they've all been friends, and that's all I have to say about that. So now, Katchen, you have a slight idea on how this thing goes back. 15, 20, well, actually, if you go back to 88 or so, it's 25, almost 30 years or so ago. It's been a while, and I feel every bit of it. This is Pioneers of Country right now, Pioneers of Country Live, and here he is. He's a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Red Savine. He's a little thirsty. So am I.
Whiskey-flavored kisses on my lips tonight. Don't know if I'm deep in love or just a little tight. Well, I've been getting dizzy and my head feels so light. Whiskey-flavored kisses on my lips tonight. I just dropped on by to say hello to all my friends. Never even dreamed that this was how the night would end. I don't even know her name, I didn't tell her mine. All she does is dance and drink and kiss me all the time. Whiskey-flavored kisses on my lips tonight. Don't know if I'm deep in love or just a little tight. Well, I've been getting dizzy and my head feels so light. Whiskey-flavored kisses on my lips tonight. Haven't had the chance to think if this is right or wrong. I just order up the drinks and follow her along. When I say I love her, she just laughs and says that's fine. Put a quarter in the jukebox and kiss me one more time.